Canada just did something that made the entire American auto industry go quiet. Prime Minister Mark Carney flew to Beijing, shook hands with Xi Jinping, and opened the door to 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles a year at a tariff of just 6%. 6. While America sits behind a wall of tariffs so high that not a single Chinese car brand can legally touch their market, Canada just invited them all in. And they are running through that door right now. Drop a like, because what is happening in Canada in 2026 is the most significant shift in North American automotive history in decades. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why the American auto industry is panicking. Brand number 1, BYD, and they are not tiptoeing in. They are building an army. BYD, Build Your Dreams, is not a startup. This is the company that outsold Tesla globally in 2024. The world's largest electric vehicle manufacturer by volume. Warren Buffett invested in them early, and they have been quietly preparing for Canada for years. So quietly that while every other Chinese brand was scrambling to even register with Transport Canada, BYD was already cleared. Their factories in Shenzhen and Xi'an are already listed in the Transport Canada Appendix G pre-clearance registry. That means they can legally begin importing vehicles the moment the tariff window opens. No one else is that far ahead, and this is where it gets insane. BYD is not sending 1 or 2 models to test the water. They have already hired a Canadian automotive consultancy to scout dealership locations, and they are targeting 20 branded stores within their first year. 20, starting in Toronto, then Vancouver, Montreal, Calgary, a full national network. In year 1, the models coming are the Seal, the Dolphin, the Auto 3, and eventually the Seagull. The Seal is a direct Tesla Model 3 competitor, with a 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating, a 15.6-inch rotating touchscreen, and a blade battery so structurally integrated into the floor of the car it actually reinforces the chassis. In Europe, it starts at the equivalent of around 45,000 Canadian dollars. The Auto 3 is their compact crossover, expected to land around 36 to 42,000 Canadian, undercutting the Hyundai Kona Electric and Kia Niro EV by $5,000 to $10,000. And the Dolphin, a 5-door hatchback with real-world range, heat pump standard, and a price that starts under $30,000 in other markets. The craziest part? BYD's executive vice president told Bloomberg they are also considering building a factory in Canada, on Canadian soil, and potentially acquiring a struggling legacy automaker. She did not name names. She did not need to. The entire Canadian auto industry heard it. Meanwhile, a Ford F-150 XLT starts at over 50,000 Canadian dollars and gets you a touchscreen. Brand number 2, Chery, and they brought an entire army of sub-brands that nobody saw coming. Most people have never heard of Chery. That is exactly how they want it. Chery is China's largest passenger vehicle exporter. They sold over 2.8 million cars globally in 2025. And when they decided to come to Canada, they did not register one brand. They registered 6, Xeed, iCar, JQ, La Paz, Luxeed, and Omoda. 6 trademark filings, 6 different market positions, 6 different price points. This is not a company testing a market. This is a full-scale invasion with flanking maneuvers. The 2 brands most likely to arrive first are Omoda and JQ, and they could not be more different from each other. Omoda is the urban, sporty play. The Omoda 5 is a compact crossover SUV with dual 10.25-inch screens, lane departure assist, radar cruise control, driver monitoring, and a price around $30,000 in markets like Australia. It was won awards across Europe. In the UK, the larger Omoda 7 just launched at the equivalent of around 40,000 Canadian, and it beat the Hyundai Tucson on a twisty road. Car reviewers said it made expensive rivals look silly.
JQ is the rugged play.
Think Range Rover meets budget pricing. The GQ 7 has a 14.8-inch touchscreen, a head-up display, facial recognition, Qualcomm-powered infotainment, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. It launched in the UK at the equivalent of around 35,000 Canadian. The JQ 5 EV, their compact electric SUV, costs the equivalent of around $36,000 in Australia for a brand new, fully loaded electric SUV. The The same money that gets you a mid-trim Ford Escape with a 4-cylinder engine and no autonomous driving features. And Chery's industry minister meeting happened during Carney's state visit to Beijing. These are not back-channel conversations. This is government-level deal-making. They are coming, and they are coming with options at every single price point. Brand number 3, Zeekr, the one hiding in plain sight, and it is the most dangerous of all. Here's what nobody is telling you about Zeekr. They are already in Canada, not officially, not with a showroom, but through their parent company, Geely, which owns Volvo and Polestar, both of which have been selling Chinese-built vehicles in Canada for years. Geely already has dealer networks here. They already have service infrastructure here. They already have brand trust here, just under Swedish names. Now, Geely trademarked Zeekr in Canada last year, and their CEO, Andy Ann, told Bloomberg directly, Canada is a market they are entering, not considering, entering. Transport. Canada certification is expected soon. So what is Zeekr? Built in Sweden's design language. Engineered on Geely's Sustainable Experience Architecture platform, the same platform underpinning Volvo's EVs. The Zeekr 7X is a mid-size electric SUV that in other markets starts at the equivalent of around 43,000 Canadian dollars. It has matrix LED headlights, 800-volt ultra-fast charging, a panoramic glass roof, a 22-speaker sound system, and up to 615 kilometers of range, 0 to 100 in under 4 seconds in the performance variant. 5-star NCAP safety rating already certified. This is where it gets uncomfortable for Tesla. The Zeekr 7X is a direct Model Y competitor. Same size, same market, significantly more premium interior, and it costs less. In markets where both are sold, Zeekr is pulling customers. In just months on sale in Australia, the 7X outsold the smaller Zeekr X 2 to 1. The momentum is real, and because Zeekr can lean on Geely's existing Volvo and Polestar infrastructure in Canada, their path to market is shorter than any other Chinese brand on this list. They are already inside the walls. They are just about to put their own name on the door. Brand number 4, MG, the one with a British accent and Chinese engineering, and they have been here before. MG sounds British because it was. Morris Garages, founded in Oxford in 1924, the brand that gave the world the MGB Roadster, bought by SAIC, China's state-owned automaker, in 2007, completely rebuilt, and now one of the fastest-growing car brands on Earth. In the UK alone, in 2025, MG sold over 30,000 vehicles. The rest of Europe added another 46,000. In Norway's annual Winter Range Drive, the most brutal real-world EV test on the planet, the MG S6 finished neck and neck with the Hyundai Inster for the top spot. 6 of the top 10 performers at the 2026 event were Chinese-built. MG was at the front of that pack. The MG4 EV is their weapon for Canada. Rear-wheel drive, 50-50 weight distribution, 463 kilometers of range on the long-range variant, a 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating, and in markets like Australia, it lands at around 34,770 Canadian equivalent. That is a sporty, rear-wheel drive electric hatchback for the price of a base Honda Civic with gas. And the ZS EV, their compact SUV, comes in around 32,800 Canadian equivalent, with V2L vehicle-to-load capability built in, meaning you can power your camping gear, your tools, or your house during a blackout directly from your car in a Canadian winter. That feature alone is worth talking about. And the craziest part with MG is the heritage angle. Canadians already know this badge from decades ago. It does not feel alien. It does not feel threatening. It walks in the door wearing a British blazer while carrying Chinese engineering underneath. That is one of the most dangerous market entry strategies in the automotive world, and it is working everywhere it has been tried. Meanwhile, a Chevrolet Equinox EV, which is supposed to be GM's affordable electric answer, starts at over 44,000 Canadian before options. The MG4 undercuts that by $10,000 and has better weight distribution. Brand number 5, XPeng, the one that is not just selling cars, and it is selling the future of driving itself. XPeng is different from every other brand on this list. BYD competes on price. Zeekr competes on premium. MG competes on heritage. Chery competes on volume. XPeng competes on intelligence, and right now, by at least one major independent study from the Center of Automotive Management in Germany, XPeng is the most innovative automotive manufacturer on the planet in the field of autonomous driving and safety systems. Not most innovative Chinese brand, most innovative brand, period. Their in-house Turing AI chip powers an autonomous driving system called X and GP. The top variants run 3 Turing chips delivering 2,250 TOPS of computing power. To put that in context, Tesla's full self-driving hardware runs at significantly lower compute, and in January 2026, XPeng demonstrated their ADAS Live in real urban traffic, real highway scenarios to government delegates from Canada, the European Union, the United States, Japan, and the UK as part of a United Nations working group on automated driving. Canadian officials were in that car, they saw it work. That is not a product demo. That is a diplomatic preview. Their P7 Plus sedan is launching across 36 countries in 2026, and deliveries in Europe begin this spring. Their G7 SUV starts at the Chinese equivalent of around 37,000 Canadian and claims to be the world's longest range SUV with a combined range over 1,700 kilometers in EREV form. The entire vehicle updates itself over the air. Software, autonomous driving models, so everything. XPeng has completed 2 synchronized global OTA updates already, pushing new autonomous driving capability to every car simultaneously. Your Ford does not do that. Your GM does not do that. Your Dodge definitely does not do that. XPeng has not confirmed Canada directly, but their CEO He Xiaoping has committed to a global adaptation phase for their Turing AI driving system in 2026 specifically. Canadian officials already rode in their car. The pieces are moving, and when a brand this technologically advanced decides to enter a market, they do not arrive quietly. Now here is the piece of this story that ties all 5 together, and it is the part that makes the American auto industry genuinely nervous. Canada is not just buying cars, Canada is becoming the North American beachhead. The trade deal explicitly states that as the quota rises to 70,000 units by 2030, more than half must be priced under 35,000 Canadian dollars. That is a deliberate push to seed affordable Chinese EVs across the country, on Canadian roads, in Canadian driveways, in Canadian conversations. Once those vehicles are normalized here, once service networks exist, once Canadians are posting reviews and recommending them to their families, the pressure on the U.S. border becomes enormous. Not legally, politically, and the spy car argument, it is real as a concern. Modern EVs are rolling sensor platforms that collect location data, driving behavior, microphone audio, and connected device information. Doug Ford is not wrong that the risk exists, but as one Canadian policy analyst pointed out, General Motors has been putting OnStar microphones in vehicles since the late 1990s. Every connected car from every brand collects data. The question of whether Chinese EVs are uniquely dangerous or simply equally dangerous is a conversation that does not have a clean answer yet. What is clear is that 61% of Canadians decided they would rather have the affordable car and figure out the data question as they go. America made the opposite choice. Now they are watching from across the border as their northern neighbor gets access to technology and price points they cannot legally touch. 5 brands, 1 trade deal, a market that was closed 6 months ago and is now wide open. BYD is already cleared and building dealerships. Chery filed 6 trademarks and is recruiting Canadian staff right now. Zeekr is hiding inside Geely's existing Canadian infrastructure. MG is coming back with Chinese engineering under a familiar badge, and XPeng already had Canadian government officials inside their autonomous vehicle on a public road in Shanghai. This is not coming. This is already happening, and the Canadian automotive market will never look the same again. America built a wall, Canada built a door, and right now, 5 of the most capable car brands on Earth are walking straight through it.